Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about converting rates and while using ratios and using dimensional analysis to do that. Dimensional analysis, to start off, this is the process of including units of measurements as factors when you're finding a new unit. So we're actually going to cancel out units. It's something that you can use a lot in different sciences, and I've seen it mostly used in the science classroom. But I like to teach my students early because that can help them when they get there. And it's also another way to convert units that you might like. You might not, that's okay. Hang in there. So it's really, we're using the same type of conversions we've done before, but it keeps us on track. So it's basically like saying 1 hour and 60 minutes, like using those interchangeably, but I'm gonna, instead of just writing 1, I'm gonna write 1 hour. Instead of just writing the 60, I'm going to write 60 minutes. So we use it to represent the same thing because an hour and 60 minutes are the same thing. It's the same length of time. Okay, it's just using a different unit. Whoops, excuse me. Just using a different unit. So we can write this as a ratio, like 60, if I go from 60 minutes, and then we're going to use a lot of multiplication times. If I want to make 60 minutes become an hour, I'm going to put 1 hour on top and then the 60 minutes on the bottom, because both the 60s cancel out and then the minutes cancel out. I'm just left with 1 hour. Because it's the same thing. 60 minutes is an hour. If I wanted to say 3,600 seconds. Okay, you can do that too. You have options. So that's what this is about. So a lot of converting in this. So there may be some conversions you need to look up, especially when we get to the metric system. So we're going to do that. So we want to convert the following here. Convert 60 miles per hour to miles per minute. How fast are we going per minute? So here's how I'm going to start. I'm going to start with what I have. I've got 60. And I'm including the units here. 60 miles. Remember, per is my bar. Per is the bar. Per. And that's just 1 hour, because that's my unit rate. If you need a refresher on unit rates, we do have a video on that. Check it out, please. We've got 60 minutes and 1 hour, right? So we're going 2 miles per minute. Cool thing is, miles I already got. Check, check. I don't have to worry about converting miles. I'm good. However, I need hours to become minutes. So I need to worry about this hours. I'm going to multiply for all of these. So I'm going to multiply, put my bar here. All right. I'm going to try to get rid of hours. So I need them to be diagonal so I can cross cancel. So I'm going to put hours here. Now underneath it is what I'm going to put what I'm trying to get to. Hours to minutes. Because I know that connection. I know how many minutes are in an hour, right? If you're going from hours to seconds, you might have to do a few steps to this, and that's fine. We'll do some of those. So I know that 1 hour here is 60 minutes, right? So here's where the canceling happens. My hours, the unit itself cancels out. And now I'm left with miles per, because it's a fraction bar, minute. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to write my numbers. I've got 60 miles, we'll simplify in a second, per 60 minutes. So 60 over 60 becomes 1, right? So this is 1 mile per, remember you can use the bar to say per, 1 mile per minute. Which makes sense. If you're going 60 miles per hour, then that would be 1 mile a minute, because there's 60 minutes in an hour. All connected. So we have 1 mile per minute. Okay, so that's one dimensional analysis problem. So we're going to do a couple more. For this one, we're going to talk about money and length of the year. So Zeke spends an average of $1,854 per year on gaming equipment. All right, so that's money. So I'm going to put my dollars up here. Dollars per year. Per 1 year. So I want to know how much is this per month. So I'm trying to convert the years to month. So, and again, I'm using the dimensional analysis process. There are other ways you can convert this without doing dimensional analysis. So, if you're like, there's an easier way to do this, well, sure. But this is to show you the particular method. So, I have, remember, I want whatever I'm trying to convert, years here. I'm trying to make years become months. So, years needs to be at the diagonal. So, it needs to be up because my first years is down. And then months is on the bottom. So I need to think how many years to months, what's the relationship there? So I've got 1 year to 12 months. So a year is a longer unit of measurement than a month, so that one's going to be 1. And these cancel out. All right, I'm going to get my calculator for this one. You're welcome to divide by hand if that's how you feel like doing things. Go for it. Let's see, 1854 divided by 12. So, per month, that's about $154.50 per month that he spends on gaming equipment. Now, with dimensional analysis, a lot of times you're going to have metric units involved, and if you don't live in America, you might be very familiar with the metric system. That's great. If you do live in America, hi. We don't use the metric system that often, so let's have a little review of that so we know where we're at. Sometimes with dimensional analysis and other things, you'll see a lot of metric units, and if you are in America, that's again not a standard unit of measurement that we use. The rest of the world's on board for the most part. However, you'll see it a lot in the sciences, so we're going to do a little review of the metric units just so you can be comfortable with it. So I have these 7 slots here. So right in the middle, this is my base unit. So this is whatever I'm talking about. I'm going to give you some examples, not all, but just some. You might see grams, liters, meters. I'm going to start with those. So you might see, you have so many meters, but maybe you're trying to get to kilometers. Or if you're at grams, maybe you're trying to get to milligrams or even centimeters, right? We talk about centimeters. Sometimes you see that. You're talking about length. So what we have here, now there's more slots here than we're actually going to use. We're going to talk about kilometer, or just kilo, meters, liters, grams, whatever. Centi and milli, because those are the ones that come up the most. Now, if you have the other ones in there, you're welcome to look that up on your own. They go up by 10, right? So whatever my base unit is, so maybe I have 5 grams. So if I have 5 grams, I would have 5,000 milligrams. So milli's the little teeny tiny one. Okay, and then centi, think century, 100, right? And then kilo is the opposite. Here I would be multiplying by 0.001 because then it's getting really bigger. It's getting really big. Sorry. If you have 5 grams, so let's go ahead and do that example. So if I have 5 grams, then that would be 500 centigrams. Lost my pen, sorry. Centigrams. It sounds weird saying because it's usually in milligrams. And then 5,000 milligrams, which you might just see mg. See that a lot on like medication bottles. So we do measure some stuff in America with this, just not everything. And then on the other side of things, you would see like 0.00 kilograms. So you might see kg. You might see km for kilometers. So usually if you come across a unit you're not familiar with, it might be the metric system. So just be aware that that is out there and exists. They're going to come up in a couple of problems. So keep this chart on hand. If you need it, copy it, take a picture of it, whatever you need to do. Now we're going to convert our little cheetah here. So an adult cheetah can reach a speed of about 70 miles per hour. And we want to know how fast is this in feet per second. Okay. So let's see. What do I have? I've got 70 miles per hour. Whoops. I want to go through my stuff. There we go. How fast is this in feet per second? So I'm going from miles to feet and hours to second. So I've got to convert 2 units. So let me write what I have. 70 miles per 1 hour. And then I'm trying to get to feet per second. So don't worry about both of them at once. Do one at a time. So let's start with feet. I'm trying to get miles to become feet. So here's my multiplication. So if I'm trying to get miles to become feet, I'm going to put what I have on the bottom, because miles is right now, it's on the top. So I need to cancel it out, so it needs to go down. So miles is becoming feet here. All right, now if you don't know how many feet are in a mile, go ahead and look it up. That's always just a fun one to have memorized, I think. So 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Okay, so look, my miles right here, those are going to cancel out. I've got feet on top. That's what I want. Okay, so feet is good. Now I need to get the hours to seconds. If you happen to know how many seconds are in an hour, cool. If you don't, we're going to take the long way there, and that's fine. So we're going to go to minutes, then to hours, or then to seconds, excuse me. So I have hours over here. All right, so I'm looking here. So I'm kind of not even looking at this second one that I just drew. So I'm looking back at hours. I'm going to go from an hour here. So I'm going to go from hours to minutes. So I know that 1 hour is the same thing as 60 minutes. So bye-bye hours, cancel that out. Then I'm going to do this again, except then I'm going to go from minutes to seconds. So minutes goes on top because it's currently on the bottom. I'm trying to get rid of it. Got to cancel it. And then seconds here. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So then boom, boom, minutes are gone. So now I'm just going to multiply what I have. Notice all that's left of my units is feet on top, which is what I want, per second on the bottom, which is what I want. That's how you know you're on the right track. All right, I'm going to go use a calculator for this one. This is going to be a larger number. I'm going to do 70 times 5,280. So that's my numerator, because in times 1 doesn't do anything. So I've got 369,600. That's my feet per. Now on the bottom, I've got 1 times 1 times 60 times 60. So just 60 times 60, which is 3,600. And then let's go ahead and divide this. Don't forget your unit, since we are doing the dimensional analysis. So I've got 369,666,000. Sorry, didn't mean to freak some people out. I've got 102. There's my 0.6 repeating. There it is. All right, 102.6 repeating feet per second. You're welcome to round that. 1.2.7 feet per second. You typically don't see the repeating in certain problems and stuff, so either one would be appropriate. The bottom one is rounded. So that's how fast a cheetah goes in feet per second. Not crazy? Like every second? Like 1, 2. That cheetah just went 102.7 feet. I can barely walk 2 feet in a second. I don't even know. It's crazy. All right. Here's another one. Tyler's going bungee jumping from the Macau Tower. Cool. Or Macau. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. He will fall with his bungee attached 200 kilometers per hour. Okay, I've got a metric system here. How fast is he falling in miles per hour? So how fast is this? Whew. All right. We've got 200 kilometers per hour. So here's what we got. Here's where we're trying to go. We are trying to get from kilometers to miles. And then I have hours to hours. So hours, we're good. All right, and I got 1 hour on the bottom. So my hours is covered. So this is just a one-step conversion. However, I don't know how many kilometers are in a mile. It's not something that I have memorized, which means I'm going to need to look it up. So when you do look it up, which I have it here if I can find it. First off, let me set up our units. I'm going from kilometers to miles. So because I'm trying to get rid of kilometers and it's right here on top. It needs to go on the bottom. Miles is going to go on top. All right, and I'd say the best place to look this up is you can just Google it. And it will show you because it's got conversions, right? So I have 1 mile and it is 1.609 kilometers. Okay, so a mile is a little bit bigger than a kilometer because it's 1.6 kilometers. And now this is just a matter of math. So really, remember my kilometers cancels out here. Bye-bye. I get 200 miles per, I'm actually going to leave the units off for now. While I finish the math, divided by 1.609, and that is going to give me 124.3, rounded I believe, miles per hour. That's how fast he's falling, or bungeeing. It's falling. That's how fast he's falling from that tower. Crazy. 124.3 miles per hour. All right. Got a couple more. I believe this is our last one. This is our last one. Go ahead and pause the video here. Try these out. You might need some paper. You might need to look some stuff up, especially if you're going from meters to a different unit of measurement. So go ahead and pause it. And I'm going to go ahead and start trying to find space so I don't write on my face. So let's see. I'll do number one here. Yards to millimeters. 54 yards. And that's just going to go over 1 because I don't have anything else to convert it to. That's okay. All right, let's see. Yards to millimeters. Ooh, I'm not even sure. Let's see. I'm going to go to feet to inches first. Feet, and then to inches, and then to millimeters, because I'm trying to break the unit down smaller and smaller. You might take a different approach, but we should get the same answer. Okay. So I'm going to put yard on the bottom, because I'm trying to cancel it out. And I'm going to go to feet. You're welcome to go from yard to inch. That's fine. If you want to do the jump, go for it. So 1 yard here, 12 feet. So notice yards cancels out. Good. And then I'm going to go from a foot to an inch, which is 1 foot, 12 inches. I actually want to use the metric conversions here. So I'm going to go from 1 inch. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me cancel out my feet. Sorry. 1 inch. I'm going to go to centimeters because inches and centimeters we typically use when we're talking about measurement, even in the American measuring system. So I go from 1 inch to it's 2.54 centimeters. So 2.54 centimeters is an inch. So now look, now I'm in the metric system. So if I'm going to go from centimeters to millimeters, that's what I'm trying to get to, right? Millimeters. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters because it's all base 10. Hence the standard or the metric system measurement. Okay. Whew. So no matter how many steps you took to get here, notice the bottom is all just 1, so I don't really have to worry about the bottom. So I am going to measure, I'm trying to figure out what 54 yards is in millimeters. All right, 54 times 12 times 12 times 2.54 times 10. I get 197,000, 510.4 millimeters. And with these, you can see, does it make sense? I'm going from 54 yards, 54 of these, to how many of these little bitty millimeters? 197,000 and some change. Yes, that makes sense. That one's good. Okay. All right, I'll do number 2 up here. And I want space for 3. 11 weeks to seconds. So how many seconds is 11 weeks? All right, so I'm going to go from weeks. I think I'm going to go to days. Let's go to days. So 1 week has 7 days in it. So then, let's see, a day, 1 day, weeks is canceling out by weeks. 1 day has 24 hours. Goodbye days. All right, and then I'm going for 1 hour. I'm going to go ahead and jump to seconds because I know that 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. You're welcome to go to minutes and then to seconds. Go for it. All right, cool. Again, the bottom's all 1, so that's nice. So really, I have 11 times 7 times 24 times 3,600. which is something. 11 times 7 times 24, 3600 is 6,652,800 seconds, which makes sense. It's 11 weeks. How many seconds is that? A lot. All right, I'm going to erase number 1 so that I don't accidentally cover up my face, or you won't be able to see it because my face is in the way. So we are going to go to 32 feet per second to meters per minute. So that's a double conversion, 2 things to convert here. 32 feet per second. All right, and you can choose what you want to convert first. Do you want to convert the feet first, or do you want to convert the seconds? I'm just going to start with the top just because it's easier for me to do. Or easier for me to remember. Okay, I did the top, so I'm going to do the bottom. Alright, so I'm going to have to look this up because I don't know how many feet are in a meter. I don't know that relationship. I have an estimation, but I'm not totally sure. I know a meter is a little bit bigger than a yard. So I'm going to put feet on the bottom, put meters on top. I'm going to look that up. So 1 meter, that's the bigger one. 1 meter has 3.28, there you go, feet in it. So feet is converted. Goodbye. I got meters. Awesome. Just got to get to minutes now. All right. So I have meters on top, looking for seconds to minutes. So seconds is going on top. And then minutes is going on the bottom. So it's 1 minute is 60 seconds. So then seconds cancels out. That's what I want. So now I got a little bit of math to do here for top and bottom. I've got 32 times 60, which is 1920 over 3.28. And remember, that's meters and minutes. Divided by 3.28, I get 585 around to 100.37 meters per minute. There you go. Whew. All right, that's dimensional analysis. It can be a lot, but if you can get the process, it should be logical and make sense. So keep practicing. If you want more practice, let us know. We can make that happen. So there's dimensional analysis for you. All right, hope you guys have a good day, and check out our other videos for our ratio units if you have any other questions about converting units or how to work with ratios in this format. All right, thanks guys. Have a good one. Bye.